It, of course, wasn't about just music. It was about creating a whole new aesthetic, one that reflected the cold, industrialized world that we live in. Themes like dehumanization, control, and technology's darker side became the central themes in industrial music. It was and remains the musical genre for those who look at the world and see something broken, something harsh, and something that needs to be exposed. So now we need desperately to discuss aesthetics, the vibe, the atmosphere, the history, the sound. So let's get started, shall we? Industrial music emerged in the late 70s, early 90s, and like many underground movements, it started as an act of rebellion. At that time, pioneers like Thurban Bristol or Gabor Voltaire were tired of traditional music structure. They took the sounds of fabric, machines, everyday urban decay, and twisted it into something very hypnotic and unique. Instead of focusing on melodies or harmonies, they used modern live tools like electronics, distortion, etc. to create something completely new. In this video, I'll try my absolute best not to touch the topic of ABM, TBM, synthpop, future pop, agrotech, harsh noise, etc. I want to focus on industrial bands only. I mean industrial rock, metal, electro-industrial, Neue Deutsche Härte, and things like that. In terms to avoid any confusions and to keep this video short, well, kind of. It's the only way to do. Germany is a home to both traditional industrial music and Neue Deutsche Härte, which blends industrial with metal and rock elements. German industrial music has a strong connection to the country's history, particularly its post-World War II legacy, Cold War tensions, and divided society. Many bands incorporate themes of authoritarianism, resistance, and the mechanized nature of society, inspired by Germany's industrial heritage and political struggles. In the United States, industrial music took on more rock and metal-oriented edge, heavily influenced by the American counterculture movements and the rejection of mainstream consumerist society. The industrial rock sound that emerged in the US is more accessible than its European counterparts, often combining pop, rock, and metal elements with electronic textures. Heavier incorporation of rock and metal with more emphasis on guitars, distorted vocals, and more song-oriented structure. The UK's industrial music scene is darker, grittier, and more avant-garde. Influenced by post-punk and early electronic music, the British industrial sound focuses on harsh, experimental noises and dystopian themes, reflecting the country's economical struggles and post-industrial decline. Experimental, dissonant, and minimalist, often incorporated noise. Canadian industrial music, particularly form groups like Skinny Puppy and Frontline Assembly, is known for its dark, atmospheric sounds, often blending electro-industrial with elements of techno and electronic body music. Canadian industrial has a unique place in the global scene, with its focus on dystopian themes, environmentalism, and a darker side of technology. Cold, atmospheric, with a heavy use of synthesizers. French industrial music has an avant-garde, often black metal-infused approach, characterized by experimentation with sound and form. French industrial is deeply philosophical, often reflecting themes of existentialism, nihilism, and postmodern critique. Avant-garde, experimental, often mixed with black metal. Scandinavian industrial music is known for its fusion with metal, particularly black and death metal. The harsh natural environments and the region's long history of paganism and mysticism influenced the cold, mechanical, and often apocalyptic sounds of Nordic industrial. Heavy, aggressive, blending industrial elements with extreme metal. Italian industrial music has a more electronic and avant-garde flavor, often blending cyberpunk aesthetics with philosophical themes. Italian culturals emphasizes on art, fashion, and technology heavily influences sound, cyberpunk, electronic, often blending industrial with heavy synths and digital effects.
When it comes to fashion and style, outer style, you basically don't need that, but if you want to, I personally prefer to keep it minimalistic. So you basically have this militaristic, minimalistic, futuristic kind of vibes.
Industrial music morphs according to the historical, political, cultural context of each country. While the core elements of industrial dystopian themes, mechanical sounds remain the same, the ways in which are these things expressed vary significantly. From Germany's militaristic industrial to American rebellious, rock-driven, and Scandinavia's fusion with black metal, the cultural and geographical elements shape and form the direction of each scene.
So thank you for watching this video, especially if you watched it till the end. If you need something to say, feel free to do it in the comment section down below. If I offended someone, shit happens. Bye!
Mm-hmm.